I will buy a phone like this. I mean, it feels great in the hand, but I mean, spending a lakh on this is really practical. Now, when the Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge came to us, there was the one thought that was really bugging me. Who will buy this phone? I mean, it's said in the market that if you're asking for something, when the customers really want a feature in their smartphone, they would ask for it, right? But my question is, who was asking for a phone this thin? A flagship phone at that. Because the Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge, yes, it's a mouthful, doesn't really compromise on a lot of things in terms of performance. It's giving you a top-of-the-line flagship chipset. In terms of camera, it's giving you a 200 megapixel snapper at the back. But where is the compromise? Some people would say the battery. But is the Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge really the phone for you? Would you invest more than a lakh to buy this phone just because it looks sexy and in the hand it's slim? That's the question we are here to find the answer for on Fiiber, because the S25 Edge is really something that people are talking about, and we wanted to tell you whether you should buy a phone like this. I mean, who will buy a phone like this? So first up, let's talk about the design. I stacked 6 credit cards on top of each other and tried a comparison whether the phone is indeed that slim, and the answer shocked me. 5.8 millimeters and 163 grams, and Samsung's engineering team has it really outdone themselves, because a phone this thin, I think it's very difficult to pack all of these features, and must have been difficult. So kudos, Samsung. But that's the thing, practicality wise, I mean, as a daily driver, you will not even feel the heft in your hands. If you use your phone the entire day, you use a lot of emails, Instagram, and you constantly have your phone in your hands, you will not feel the heft, because a phone 163 grams compared to the flagships today is almost nothing, featherweight. And that's the advantage that this phone has. And it's not that it's compromising in any of the departments, because it's protected by Gorilla Glass on both sides. It's also got a strong metal frame. So overall, I think if you even drop the phone a couple of times, it won't really matter, because I think it's protected really well. But the one thing I would like to tell people is, please do not use a cover with this phone. You're kind of taking away the beauty of coming up with a design like this. The deal breaker could be when you lay the phone flat on the table, there is a bit of a wobble because of the camera island. Otherwise, I think all of the basics have been taken care of. It is very clean, very minimalistic, and practically I feel a phone like this just feels super in the hands. Plus, you also get IP68 certification with this one, so water and dust resistance has been taken care of. You get the SIM card slot, the speaker grill, everything is just how it's supposed to be. The plus is a phone this thin just slides so beautifully into the pockets. The display again, while 6.7 inch might be a bit overwhelming for a lot of people, I like bigger displays because I get more screen area. It's better for gaming, better for watching content, and everything just looks nicer on a big screen, doesn't it? Plus, you're getting Quad HD Plus resolution and brightness enough that even if you take the phone outside, it will not be a problem, and viewing angles are perfect. And Samsung, as we all know, are pioneers in display technology, and they've given it their best in this device as well. The added bonus is that the bezels are really slim, which means more screen area for you to enjoy. And for a flagship phone, more screen means more fun. So overall display and design, I feel Samsung has really done a good job over here with the S25 Edge, and someone who likes the big screen experience and also the light form factor, which so light, go for this without even having second thoughts. Performance-wise, the S25 Edge also has a top-of-the-line chipset, which is the Snapdragon 8 Elite. Now, that bundled with 12 GB of RAM and multiple storage options, you're getting what most of the flagships in the market today are offering you. And to add more features, you're also getting vapor chamber cooling system within the device, which means even if you're gaming for longer hours, the phone will not heat up. And that's something that we experienced as well. Although I wasn't using it for a lot of gaming, but yeah, the phone is pretty cool. Plus, Samsung really pushes its AI agenda across its lineup of devices, and it's the same case with the S25 Edge, because remember, Samsung has its own AI, which is again bundled with Google's AI. So both of them are working in the ecosystem, getting you the top utility features, and I think the AI game is pretty sorted over here. I was using the phone in Taiwan, by the way, and the live translate feature really helped me communicate with the locals, because there were people who couldn't understand English and I can't understand Cantonese or Taiwanese, whichever language they speak. And the live translate feature really helped me navigate, across the city. So kudos for the AI that's been bundled in the device. But tell me, what kind of AI features do you think are really practical? Because a lot of the companies these days are, overloading their phones with AI. So, which are the practical ones? Let us know in the comments. And also remember, Samsung is offering over 7 years of software and security updates with the S25 Edge, which means even if you want to use the phone for 7 years, it will be updated with the latest firmware, and that is also a big point when you're buying a phone. The relevance, how long it can be with you. So performance-wise, UI-wise, I think Samsung has really got its A game to this device. It is giving you the exact experience that you get with the Ultra devices, but you don't have to have that heft that an Ultra phone gets to you. So no compromise in flagship features, no compromise in performance, and everything inside this phone just speaks the kind of flagship level experience you would want on a Samsung device. Moving on to the camera, 200 megapixels is the primary sensor, which is again something that you would want on a flagship device. But that's about it. I'm really missing the telephoto sensor, and if somehow that could have been added, this would have been a complete package. Let's start with the image samples clicked on the S25 Edge. Now this is a wide angle shot which I clicked from my hotel room, and as you can see, there is no dearth in terms of quality or contrast. The standard shot are also impressive, as you can see in this one. Just to experiment, I clicked a 2x zoom shot of the Ferris wheel, and again, this is a crisp shot. Even the 4x zoom shot is pretty nice. In the vertical mode, this is a standard shot which I clicked off a building, and again, I was impressed with the way it balanced the contrast and also the exposure. Wide angle shot is also impressive. As you can see, there is no shift in colors, which I really liked. Video stabilization on this phone is also pretty nice. As you can see, I'm taking a tour of the city on the bus, and this is a smooth shot. I like the feature that Samsung gives with the S25 Edge, which is the smooth zoom. As you can see in this one, I zoomed into the Ferris wheel without any camera stutter or shift. The front camera also is pretty impressive if you are a content creator. This one has been taken in 1080p 60 fps and very stable, no color shift, exposure controlled very aptly. Low light shots from the Samsung S25 Edge also impressed me. These are some of the samples which I clicked in Taiwan, and feast your eyes on the landscapes. The low light quality, the crispness and the contrast have been maintained without any compromises on the quality of the shots. It also works well if you are clicking macro shots or even portraits. These are some of the selfies we clicked with the phone, and overall we can say that the S25 Edge camera experience is very good. Because remember, while the ultra-wide lens is available, it's not the best camera experience. You have better camera systems in the market with the Vivo X200 Pro. You also have the Oppo X8 and also the S25 Ultra, Samsung's own phone. So there is a bit of a compromise in the camera department, but that's only a compromise if you want to go pro. However, if you want images for your social media or just random images that you keep clicking every day, I think for those this phone is fine. Even the selfie camera, again, not the best, 12 megapixel, I know on paper doesn't seem that good, but does it translate to good performance? Not really. Because while yes, you are getting decent pictures with it, it is not something that I would say flagship level. So the camera department, there is a bit of a compromise. Rest, you also get video recording up to 8K. So again, I'll repeat myself, if you're wanting to go pro, I don't think this is the right option. However, for starters, for everyday social media consumption and posting on Instagram, this camera is decent. Coming to the battery of this phone, and yes, that is really the talking point here, because 3900 mAh, is it enough? because Samsung somehow thought that 3900 mAh would be enough for this device, and I think in a manner of speaking they are right. Because if you're looking to use this phone as a daily driver for your general applications, maybe email, Instagram, WhatsApp, you will be able to get an entire day's charge with this phone. Because the software has been optimized that way. You may not get the kind of efficiency if you are a power user. Maybe you game a lot on your phone, maybe you watch a lot of content, or you just do a lot of hardcore stuff. You get what I mean? And for those people, I would say stay away from this one, because it's not a battery behemoth, because it wasn't meant to be. And somehow 5.8 millimeters, you need to understand physics and chemistry over here. You cannot squeeze a large battery. So somewhere down the line, there has to be a compromise that needs to be made, and Samsung accepts that the battery will not be the best. What compounds the misery here is 25 watt of charging, which in 2025 is just too slow, especially when the competition in the market is almost giving you 45 to 80 watt charging. 25 watt is just unacceptable. So for people who feel that they cannot compromise on the battery life, they want good battery, something that maybe even lasts more than a day, the S25 Edge is not really the best option. However, if you are content with a phone that looks this slim and beautiful, but a day's battery is more than enough for you, this is the option to go for. So to round it up, who will buy the S25 Edge? Let me tell you, this phone is for the people who want flagship level quality, ecosystems. However, don't want to compromise on something like maybe the style statement or the sleek form factor that the phone has. Because having this phone and going out and flaunting it, it will really start conversations, because the way that this phone looks, and by the way, it's available in multiple colors. However, all of those people who want really a hardcore battery behemoth that also doesn't compromise on the quality, maybe they should stay away from this one, because this phone wasn't meant to be that. Which is why in our review, we will give the Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge a solid 8.5. I mean, I'm giving the extra points for the engineering alone, because having this slim form factor, while I know there won't be a lot of people asking for it, I really liked it, and which is why I'm giving it the points. That's it for this video. Hopefully you liked it, and let us know in the comment section if you have any questions around the S25 Edge, because I frankly haven't still gotten over this phone, and I'm still using it. Might be using it for another couple of weeks before I switch my primary device, but yeah, I'm not digressing here. Let us know, what do you think about this phone, and whether you would want to buy something like this if you have a budget of over $1 lakh. Take care guys, I'll see you very soon in the next video.